Welcome back to Dark Whispers, where true horror stories meet reality. Today, we embark on a chilling journey to the remote forests of Thailand, near the Myanmar border. Here, an entire village lived in terror for 3 long days. Picture this: mysterious screams echoing through darkness, growing louder each night. The villagers believed these cries came from beyond the grave. So dim the lights and prepare yourself for a tale that proves the most terrifying sounds can have human origins. In Mae Sot, Tak Province, Thailand, on November 24, 2024. A village nestled against dense forests, hiding secrets in their shadows. For 3 days, villagers faced bone-chilling cries from the forest. Strange sounds pierced the night, haunting their sleep. It began on a quiet evening, with one villager hearing otherworldly screams from deep within the forest. Initially, they dismissed it as an animal or wind. But then, the second night arrived, and the screams returned, louder and more desperate. They sounded human-like yet not quite. By the third night, fear gripped the village. Families huddled indoors after dark, terrified to venture outside. The screams intensified, especially when darkness fell. Strange noises from the forest, one villager reported. The screams grew louder, especially at night. Children stayed indoors, windows shuttered tight, as prayers were whispered in fear. The villagers believed they heard restless spirits trapped between worlds. No one dared investigate or venture into the dark forest to uncover this source of nightmare. On November 24th, desperation overtook fear. Local police in Mae Sot received frantic reports of ghostly sounds disturbing their community. Initially, officers dismissed these claims, attributing them to superstitious villagers. But the persistence of reports and genuine terror convinced them to investigate. As the sun set, police and rescue personnel gathered, ready to confront the forest that haunted an entire village. Armed with flashlights, they entered the tree line, following the direction indicated by the villagers. At first, only silence met them, as if the forest held its breath. They called out to announce their presence. What happened next would haunt them forever. From deep within the forest, voices responded. Not ghostly wails, but human voices speaking in a language they couldn't understand. The officers' hearts raced as they followed the sound deeper into the maze of trees. The voices grew clearer, more desperate, definitely human, but speaking what sounded like Chinese. Pushing through dense vegetation, they discovered the forest floor dropping suddenly. Beneath overgrown vines and fallen branches lay an abandoned well. A 12-meter deep, dry well forgotten by time. And at the bottom, barely visible in the flashlight beams, was a young man. 22-year-old Lu Chuanyi, a Chinese tourist, trapped at the bottom of the well for 3 entire days. When rescuers found him, he was severely weakened. His wrist was fractured, his body covered in bruises, suffering from a concussion. For 3 days without food or water, he shouted for help in a language no one in the village could understand. Chuanyi conserved energy, screaming for help only once per hour, hoping someone would hear his desperate pleas. To the villagers, his Chinese cries sounded like supernatural incantations, ghostly wails from another realm. Rescue operations took 30 minutes to extract Lu from his underground prison. As they pulled him to safety, the horror of his ordeal unfolded. Trapped in darkness for 3 days, he listened to his own voice echo off the well walls, growing weaker each hour. He fell while exploring the remote forest area. The well's opening was hidden, invisible to anyone not searching. What led him so close to the Thai-Myanmar border remains unclear, but his nightmare was over. As news of the rescue spread, the villagers' terror turned to amazement and perhaps embarrassment. The ghostly sounds that haunted them for 3 nights were just a man crying for help. Chinese social media users found dark humor in the situation. One joked, "Of course the locals can't understand the language," and thought it was a wizard. Another praised Lu's survival instincts, struggling for 3 days and nights, but still yelling. "This guy is truly impressive." Lu Chuanyi recovered, and authorities sealed the well to prevent further accidents. This incident serves as a chilling reminder of how fear and misunderstanding can transform the ordinary into the supernatural. A language barrier became a horror story. A cry for help turned into a ghostly haunting. Human desperation morphed into terror. The villagers' fear was real, but the source of their nightmare was heartbreakingly human. Sometimes, the most frightening sounds we hear are not from beyond the grave but from someone alive, desperately trying to return to the living world. For 3 days, Lu Chuanyi's voice echoed in that forest, a living ghost trapped between earth and sky. That's all for today's episode of Dark Whispers. If this story made you think twice about mysterious sounds at night, subscribe for more true tales blurring reality and the supernatural. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our investigations into the unexplained. Remember, the next time you hear something unexplainable, ask yourself, could it be someone just trying to find their way home? Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep whispering in the dark.